big question. Pilot deviation.
Oh, great.
Now, how does that come up? What is the process for that? I mean, obviously they call in, or I guess it's two-part question. One is, does that actually come through to the controllers here to see that, hey, there's a common pilot deviation on this airport for something, or is it notified to the controls here, and then what happens after that?
So when you get a pilot deviation, it's a possible pilot deviation. We don't make the decision that it's a deviation right off the bat. So possible pilot deviation, we get the information from the pilot, we assess it, and then we submit it to it's called an MOR. It's a report that we submit to our district. Then they review at a different level, and they are the ones that decide if it's in fact a deviation. But we don't investigate it per se.
Okay. Yeah, it's interesting because we talked to a lot of members and some have had issues like that, and we try to say, look, just be honest. Like if you were confused or, if you didn't see something, be honest, because that's going to help them make the system better.
The more honest you are, and I'll be frank and say non-argumentative, when you speak to the controller or supervisor, the more we can kind of make the decision, like, all right, if it's in fact an incursion or some major error, then yes, we have to do our job. However, if it's misunderstanding of communication, but there's no impact to other aircrafts or air traffic for that matter, then we can have a conversation. So there's different ways depending on the situation we'll be able to have the discussion.
Makes the system better.
Yeah. I mean, what you thought you knew, what you thought was said, but don't call with a defense mode on, because we're humans too. Controls make mistakes, and that's fine. And we'll review the tapes and go from there.
Okay, great to know. Great, so controller comes in, they do their briefings. Is there anything else they get here other than what we've talked about, or?
No, there's internally we have a team. It's called a team knowledge system where they have their training, certain outages that might be in place, or within the facility, certain to-do lists. They'll come and check that before they get into an operation, so they might know what to expect. Different briefings by myself, the supervisor, or the air traffic manager might want them to know and be pertinent enough before they step into the operation. So they'll log in and they'll check that, and then they'll get into the operation, get a proper briefing. But we'll talk about that upstairs.
Okay, great. So anything else on the first floor? Because most of the first, it's like admin and administration type stuff down here, right? Is there anything else a controller would do?
No, not down
other than the gym. Gotta have a gym.
You gotta have a gym. Gotta have a break room.
A gym with a smoking sign on.
That's right. Yeah, no smoking. We have a break room as well. So they need adequate enough break when they're on position to come down and kind of thaw out before going and working in complex traffic.
Okay, great. Well, let's go up and we'll talk more about those areas.